A classic mistake is wanting it all, thinking you need it all, and taking this buckshot approach to the world. Well, at the end of the day, if you can get really clear on who your ideal customer is and obsess about serving them and knowing them better than they know themselves, you'll get further faster and avoid a lot of mistakes.
If you'd like to join world-renowned entrepreneurs at the next Genius Network event or want to learn more about Genius Network, go to geniusnetwork.com. This week we are revisiting a previous episode. Here are some of the best highlights.
Hello, this is Joe Polish.
And this is Dan Sullivan.
And welcome to 10X Talk. This is going to be an awesome episode. An entrepreneur since the age of 21, Gino has had an obsession for learning what makes businesses and entrepreneurs thrive. At 25, he took over the family business, which was deeply in debt and in need of help. After turning the company around and running it for 7 years, he and his partners successfully sold the company. Gino then set out to help entrepreneurs and leaders get what they want from their businesses. Gino is the founder of EOS Worldwide, an organization that helps tens of thousands of businesses implement EOS with the aid of an international team of over 350 professionals and certified EOS implementers and an online support. There are over 100,000 companies using EOS tools worldwide. His next mission, Entrepreneurial Leap. Gino is now devoting time and energy towards helping entrepreneurs in the making get a huge jump start on taking their entrepreneurial leap, which is why he created Entrepreneurial Leap. The mission of Entrepreneurial Leap is to find all the entrepreneurs in the making at any age, wherever they are, to help them realize their purpose and live their life they were born to live. So you went through the 6 entrepreneurial traits, which are, visionary, passionate, problem solver, driven, risk taker, and responsible. How does someone know if they're an entrepreneur or not? Because I can see a lot of people saying, yeah, I have those traits, but you got to have those traits in a certain way in order to make it work.
I believe a true entrepreneur has 6 essential traits. And so they are very quickly visionary, passionate, problem solver, driven, risk taker, and responsible. And I believe you're born with them. And so anyone that has those traits, they truly are an entrepreneur. And at the end of the day, an entrepreneur is not something you do. A true entrepreneur is not aspiring to be an entrepreneur. They're people that just have a passion, pursue their dreams and their ideas, turn them into a reality, and are considered entrepreneurs by the outside world. They're not aspiring to this destination. Mm-hmm. So that would be my definition. Mm-hmm. Confirm, glimpse, and path. And confirm is all about, first and foremost, confirming that you are. And it's everything that we're talking about right now, because the other side of this conversation is not everyone is an entrepreneur. Not everyone has these 6 essential traits. My personal belief is it's 4% of the population. There's teaching out there that says you can teach somebody these traits and teach them to be an entrepreneur. I don't think you can. I think you're born.
But the people doing the teaching are college professors and high school professors who never had the courage themselves to do anything outside of the system.
Yeah,
it's just that schools have found that they can make a lot of money with the word entrepreneur.
Yeah, and I found that the professors and the teachers I'm talking to now as potential collaborators, it's right down the middle. Half believe you're born with it, which is refreshing. Half run for the hills and believe they can teach it from scratch. And so, they shy away from this content. But this first part we're talking about, first and foremost, you got to confirm you have them. And if you don't, it's okay. There are like 1,000 other careers. And being an entrepreneur isn't some ultimate destination in life. This is just a career choice, for lack of a better term. You either are or you aren't. And then glimpse is showing the life, path is showing how to greatly increase their odds. So the last little point I'll add on this question is, a lot of times it stems from a passion, a discovery, an idea, and that passion stems from pain or a wound or something in your life. And so my passion is entrepreneurs. I live to serve and help entrepreneurs because I helped my dad as an entrepreneur. I helped turn his company around. There's something about that excruciating 3 years of my life that I just live and die to help visionary entrepreneurs. And so it's all about finding that passion, that thing that will pick you up every time you get your ass kicked on this 30-year journey you're about to go on as an entrepreneur in the making. So those would be a couple nuggets that I would offer.
To paint a picture, what struggles will entrepreneurs face no matter how much planning they think they're going to do, and how does one deal with them in the real world and psychologically? Because this is also a mental game too.
Number one is not having a vision. And so simply put, you've got to have and know your vision. And I offer a very simple tool for that. Number 2 is hiring the wrong people very quickly. That is the entrepreneur that starts the business, starts growing, needs a body, and so grabs the closest one they can to them, throws it into the company. It's their brother, sister, mom, dad, uncle, next door neighbor, and has to fire that person 2 years later because then they find themselves surrounded by 2, 5, 10 people that should not be in this company. So hire around core values, hire around skill. Number 3 is not spending time with your people. So the classic wild and crazy entrepreneur just goes forward, brings these people in the organization, is growing this on sheer passion. They have their followers that are just leading what they're saying. But at some point, you've got to spend time with these people. And so if you just meet with them weekly, quarterly, and give feedback often, you'll solve 99% of your communication problems. Number 4 is not knowing who your customer is. And so a classic mistake is wanting it all, thinking you need it all, and taking this buckshot approach to the world. Well, at the end of the day, if you can get really clear on who your ideal customer is and obsess about serving them and knowing them better than they know themselves, you'll get further faster and avoid a lot of mistakes. Number 5 is not charging enough. I use Dan Sullivan's quote on how to solve that in the book, as well as a resource from Casey Brown. We can come back to that. But a classic mistake is they just don't charge enough. It's the difference between losing money and making a profit, staying in business and not. Number 6 is not staying true to your core. And so they get distracted by shiny stuff and find themselves in 5 businesses, not 1. Number 7 is not knowing your numbers. And so that's simply implementing a weekly scorecard, reviewing a monthly P&L, and managing a budget. And if you're not good at it, hire an accountant for a couple hours a week or month. And then number 8 is not crystallizing roles and responsibilities. While it seems so silly and simple, you must have an accountability chart, an org chart, when you hire your first employee. Everybody's got to know their roles and responsibilities. Even when there's only 2 of you, you'll be more efficient, more effective, and get there faster and create accountability right out of the chute.
So from your perspective, are there any proven paths to success as an entrepreneur? And I mean the word proven, like this, if you do this, this just works.
I really believe that there isn't one. There is no perfect system, no perfect process, no perfect method, no perfect way. And if somebody's trying to tell you there is one, I think they're selling you a bill of goods, in my humble opinion. But I always say when asked that question, if there were a process, this would be it. It's a 4-step process. Step 1, you have an idea. Step 2, you take your entrepreneurial leap and start your business. Step 3, you fight like hell for 10 to 20 years. And step 4, you emerge a successful entrepreneur, hopefully, because you've got a 50-50 shot at best at succeeding. The odds are, challenging. With that said, now we're on to the path part of the book. And in path, what I do believe is that you can help an entrepreneur understand some guideposts, some awarenesses along their journey that, again, will greatly increase their odds of success and eliminate half the mistakes they'll make. And at a very high level, the chapters in Path are deciding on college or not. And I give all the pros and cons and all the data for that entrepreneur in the making to decide the best path for them. How to discover your passion, because I believe passion is vital in you becoming successful. How to find a mentor, because having a mentor will get you there faster. Next is 10-year thinking. Dan subscribes to 25-year thinking. I'm just trying to get him to think 10 years, and then I'll turn him over to Dan to get him to think 25 years, but there's power in that. I then share 8 disciplines for increasing your odds of success, and I share the 9 stages. And devouring those chapters will absolutely give an entrepreneur making a clearer path, a better path, but there just is no perfect system or process.
You mentioned the importance of having a mentor, and we all have businesses that bring entrepreneurs together. I mean, all 3 of us, we focus on the entrepreneurial world. That's, Dan's got the great concept of who do you want to be a hero to, right? He even wrote a book, which is worth reading on it.
There's 2 types of mentors. You can find free ones, and you should pay for the paid ones. And it's just a question of what you're looking for, where you want to be. And if they can get you there faster, it's a no-brainer. I have spent hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars on my education. I spend 5% of my income every year on education. I've spent enough money and time to get a PhD 3 times over. I never went to college. I graduated high school with a 2.3 GPA, and I couldn't be more proud of that, because I knew at 18, there's no way in hell I'm spending another minute in academia. That structure is not for me. but I spent a fortune in the last 30 years because education is so important.
Mm-hmm.
I would even say when it comes to free mentorship, it's not like they're advertising free mentors here. I mean, you can listen to podcasts. This is a great way to get mentorship. You can read someone's book. You can buy Entrepreneurial Leap, right? What I would say, though, is that anything that the three of us have gotten for free, we went out and we found it. We created value for someone. We had conversations. We did whatever it is we needed to do. I've always loved the line, amateurs wait for inspiration, professionals do it with a headache. And when I didn't have any money and I was a dead broke carpet cleaner, what I did have is I had time and I had energy, because you can spend time, you can spend money, you can spend energy. And once I got money and I learned how to make money, I just started reinvesting that money. And I love giving money to people that what I get in return, I can say, wow, I've never regretted cutting a check for Strategic Coach. I love cutting a check for Strategic Coach, right? I love cutting a check for EOS. It's helpful. It doesn't cost me anything. It's a multiplier, to use Dan's term. And so people that want to grow, but they're not willing to put any, the whole metaphor, you want heat, but you're not willing to put any logs into the fire. Those are the people that I know, if they're really cheap, if they want to invest in themselves, it's not worth investing any time or energy with them. So if someone's broke, but I see the passion there and I see that they're trying to do something, they have the entrepreneurial attitude that Dan talks about, no entitlement, nothing comes to them without creating value for someone first. If they exhibit those and they're young and they're just starting out, I'm just motivated to spend time with those people, because that to me is encouraging.
I find that when you have time on your own, what you daydream about is really the key to, there's some part of your brain that you're just going back over and over again. And it usually has several qualities. One is that it's unique in the sense that it doesn't exist yet. It doesn't exist. You're thinking about a solution. You're thinking about a innovation, and your daydreams are really, really key here. Your other track that you're always working on is what makes you kind of antisocial, because when you're not doing what you have to do, you're doing what you want. Okay. You're doing what you want. So I always look for people who have some magical process in their head and they work on for years and years and years.
Don't miss another episode of 10X Talk. Subscribe today at 10xtalk.com/subscribe. If you'd like access to the show notes, resources, or the full episode, please visit 10xtalk.com/185.